What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with another video. Today I want to talk about some comments that Aaron Glenn had on his quarterback, Justin Fields, and take a look at how Justin Fields attacked the passing game in 2024 and see if we'll get any changes in 2025. First, we'll start with the clip of Aaron Glenn discussing his quarterback at the NFL owners meeting this week.
Coach, you got yourself a quarterback. What was it like, and what was the process getting Justin Fields?
Listen, I've played against Justin quite a bit, just him being at the Bears and me being in Detroit, and he created some damage for us, so I want to make sure that I could take advantage of what he does, what he can do as far as utilizing his legs, but I also want to allow him to play quarterback also. I don't know in his career he's ever had a chance to truly go out there and play quarterback, so we're going to give him that opportunity, understanding who he is as a player, try to utilize his skill set, but also let him do what he did at Ohio State, and let him go play quarterback.
What was the conversation like with Justin Fields? How excited is he to be here?
I think he's very excited. I talk to him every day. Listen, he's giving his opinion on things that he feel like he want to bring to the offense, which is great. And I think that us letting him play quarterback, he feels open to be able to do that. And that's one thing that you want. That head coach-quarterback relationship has got to be on the top level, and then we're trying to create that.
Glenn discusses wanting to let Justin Fields play quarterback and cites that he really hasn't gotten that opportunity in the NFL. And if you look at how he played at Ohio State, it was different. And to an extent, I think he's right. I think that at Ohio State, he was a much better passer than what he is now. And granted, the competition has increased dramatically going from college football to the NFL. But in the NFL, he is very much so a run-first quarterback, and I'm not saying, nor do I think Aaron Glenn is saying, that the New York Jets want to take away his rushing ability. I think that's part of what makes Justin Fields an intriguing option at the quarterback spot. But I think they want to let him take more chances throwing the football, which is something we just frankly haven't seen very much of in the NFL. So Michael Nania of Jets X Factor had this chart that shows how often Justin Fields was throwing a specific style of passing routes and how that compared to league average. Underneath the chart, I will put, or next to the chart, I will put just in general what those routes look like, so you have an idea of what I'm talking about here. So his favorite route that he threw a year ago was the hitch route, which was 21.1% of his throws, which is 5.5% more than average. That's pretty much going up the field 5 to 7 yards and cutting back inwards rather than cutting back towards the sideline. He's cutting in towards the middle. The receiver's cutting into the middle of the field. The flat route or the quick out is 18.6%, which was a higher mark. And the out, which is kind of just 5 yards and out, is 14.3%. So this is just a lot of quick plays. We're talking like a 7-yard route, a 5-yard route, and a 2-yard route that is just kind of dinking and dunking their way down the field. Although I did find it interesting that his go ball or deep pass was slightly above average, not by much, but slightly. And I'm wondering if we see him take more shots downfield based on the Aaron Glenn comments here. And that's not the only route that I would imagine you'd see more of a change in. I think Justin Fields does have some decent arm strength, but it just hasn't been displayed, at least on a consistent basis. Something that I'd like to see the Jets do more of, and if you look at the numbers, Pittsburgh didn't really ask Fields to do all that much stuff, is the crossing routes over the middle of the field and a slant. I feel like those are two routes that are easier and easier to read, like especially if you have shallow crossers, so people from both sides. It could either be your two outside receivers, a slot receiver mixed in, but we're two guys crossing over the middle. It could wreak some havoc for the linebackers, and people could get lost in coverage if it's man. Obviously, you have to kind of read the play. And a slant, you could usually tell by how a corner is positioned on a wide receiver if your slant route is going to work. I think that's a nice, easy way to pick up 5 to 7 yards. You hit them in stride and it could turn into a big play. Like we've seen Garrett Wilson turn some slants into big plays. One that comes to mind for me is against Dallas, not this past year, the year prior in week 2, is a game that jumps out where it was kind of a quick slant to Garrett Wilson. He turns upfield and is gone for a touchdown. That is something that I would like to see the Jets implement more, and something that Arthur Smith really didn't do all that much in Pittsburgh with Justin Fields. To me, in my personal opinion, I think they were just kind of asking Fields not to make mistakes. He limited turnovers, at least, fumbles were still a little bit of an issue, but at least interceptions. And I think based on the comments that we heard from Aaron Glenn, you would imagine that Tanner Engstrand and the offense would like to see Justin Fields be a little bit more aggressive. And, if that's the case and they want him to play more of a normal style of quarterback position rather than just, hey, just tuck it and run and make crazy plays out there and whatever you give us in the pass game, you give us, I think we would see more, honestly, just plays over the middle of the field and a couple more deep shots, man. I'm curious what you guys think on this down below in the comments. Do you think we see Justin Fields actually make more plays with his arm this year? Can he be the player that he was or closer to the player that he was at Ohio State? I think that's, asking a lot going into his, fifth year in the league and on his third different team. But I'm excited to see the plan come to fruition. And, later this month, you have the NFL draft and we'll see personnel continue to change and develop and grow. But anytime you get a new quarterback on your team, I do think it's, an intriguing time. And with a new coaching staff and new offense, we don't really know what their plan is until we see it. So that's just personally something that I'm looking forward to. And I wanted to share these comments from Aaron Glenn on his starting quarterback and see what you guys think. Let me know in the comments. I'm Matt O'Leary. Subscribe if you're new. I'll catch you next time.